Hi there. Today we're embarking on a captivating journey as we step back in time to explore the legendary martial arts Western drama of Kung Fu. I'm sure many of you have fond memories of this classic show. Kung Fu is a timeless gem that has left an indelible mark on television history. Join us as we relive the magic, revisiting the series with the entire cast, then and now. We'll uncover the original identities and ages of the talented actors from the show and witness how they've transformed in 2024. So without further ado, let's dive into the world of Kung Fu. Number 1. David Carradine as Kwai Chang Caine. Humble, intelligent, and always inquisitive, Caine's scars are not just burns. They are badges of honor that speak of his Shaolin legacy. Recognizable to those versed in Chinese culture, they echo tales of resilience and discipline. Beyond the martial arts, Caine's pursuits include the soothing melodies of a bamboo flute and the tranquility of meditation. Fluent in both Cantonese and English, he is a man of few words but boundless wisdom. A leading and supporting player in television and movies, actor David Carradine rose to fame with his iconic role as Kwai Chang Caine, the half-Asian student of life, on the popular TV series Kung Fu, a role he would go on to reprise for a syndicated series in the late 1990s. The son of legendary actor John Carradine, he excelled at playing villains in action and terror films, which, unfortunately, were often relegated to the straight-to-video shelf. Almost as famous as his Kung Fu persona was his psychedelic lifestyle and devotion to Eastern philosophy, particularly in the 1960s and 1970s, when Carradine seemed more engaged in his alternative lifestyle than in furthering his career. With the possible exceptions of his starring role as folk singer Woody Guthrie in the Oscar-nominated Bound for Glory, and a turn in Ingmar Bergman's confusing The Serpent's Egg. After 2 decades of relative quiet, Carradine found new life as the titular assassin in Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill Vol. 1 and Kill Bill Vol. 2. He went on to recur on the popular series Alias and play the head of the Chinese triad in the action thriller Crank: High Voltage. But his resurgence was cut short, following a tragic death under unusual circumstances, leaving fans wondering what else the venerable actor might have had in store. Kwai Chang Caine was played by David Carradine when he was 50 years old. Sadly, on June 4th, at the age of 72, Carradine was found hanging himself in his room at the Swiss Hotel Nylert Park Hotel, located in central Bangkok. Number 2. Radames Pera as Young Caine. With a bounty on his head, Caine embarks on a journey that leads him from China to the western United States. There, he endeavors to unearth his family roots and eventually locate his half-brother, Danny Caine. The reunion takes place in the 3rd and final season, where Caine not only discovers his half-brother, but also realizes he has become an uncle. After finding success as a young actor, particularly in roles like Young Caine in Kung Fu, 1972, and John Jr. in Little House on the Prairie, 1974. He took on a 3-year study of acting and directing with Stella Adler in 1978. This journey led him to roles like Alan Bates's estranged son in Very Like a Whale, 1980. Returning to Los Angeles in 1981, he faced the common challenge many child actors did at the time: the tough transition to adult roles. His last big movie role was in Red Dawn, 1984, and on TV, he played a Nazi vigilante youth gang leader in The New Mike Hammer, 1984. In 1988, he switched gears, starting his own business designing and installing home theater systems in Los Angeles. Attracting superstar clients, he moved his successful business to Portland, Oregon, in 1993 and later to Austin, Texas. Since 2017, he's been living in France. Young Caine played by Radames Pera when he was 12 years old, and now he is 63 years old. Number 3. K. Luke as Master. Master Po, a priest at the Shaolin Temple in Hunan, hailed Kwai Chang Caine as his favorite student. Kane's childhood training in the monastery, portrayed through poignant flashbacks, reveals the wisdom imparted by his teachers, the blind Master Po and Master Kan. In these flashbacks, a particular nickname echoes: grasshopper. This endearing term originates from a playful lesson that Master Po taught young Kane. The lesson urged awareness of the world, including a moment where a grasshopper happened to be at Kane's feet. Born in China but raised from childhood in Seattle, Luke entered the film industry as a billboard artist and caricaturist, doing layout work for movie houses. He first acted when an MGM producer needed a Chinese actor with good English diction for a supporting role in the 1934 Greta Garbo film, The Painted Veil. Luke was also known for portraying Kato in the original Green Hornet film shorts of the 1940s, and for his role as Master Po on the 1970s television series Kung Fu. Luke was reportedly considered for the role of Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars Episode IV, A New Hope, but the role went to Sir Alec Guinness instead, who provided what would be a very different take. He played the role of Mr. Wing in the 1984 Joe Dante film, Gremlins, and its 1990 sequel, Gremlins 2, The New Batch. Luke was married to Ethel Davis from 1942 until her death in 1979. They had one daughter, Ethel. Master Po was played by Kay Luke when he was 68 years old. Unfortunately, Uke died of a stroke on January 12, 1991, at the age of 86. Number 4. Philip Ahn as Master Kan's slender Korean-American character player of medium height and dignified manner. He was born in Los Angeles in 1905. Though 1911 is the year usually given, U.S. government records confirm that Ahn was born in 1905, the son of a Korean diplomat. He attended the University of Southern California at Los Angeles. Ahn got his first film acting job in 1935 and quickly made a place for himself playing Asians of many ethnicities. Although his kindly demeanor made him perfect for sympathetic roles, he could excel in the occasional villainous yellow peril type role. Condemned, like most Asian actors of the period, to stereotypical roles, Ahn nevertheless brought a dignity to even the most subservient of characters. In his later years, he achieved his greatest fame as the wise Master Kan on the television series Kung Fu, 1972. Ahn was also a successful Los Angeles restaurateur, Master Kan played by Philip Ahn when he was 67 years old. Sadly, Ahn died on February 28, 1978, due to complications from surgery. Number 5. James Hong as Chun Yen. Enjoying his 70th year as an actor, James Hong is perhaps the most recognizable Asian-American character actor in Hollywood movie history, and, still working in his 8 decades, among the most durable of all actors. Hong boasts an astounding total of over 650 acting credits. James Hong remains extremely active, with 3 credits in 2022, including a feature role in Disney Pixar's Turning Red, Danielle's Everything Everywhere All at Once with Michelle Yeoh, and will appear in a starring role in Zach Ward's Patsy Lee and the Keepers of the Five Kingdoms, for which Wong wrote the story, and is part of the vocal ensemble for Wendell and Wild, 2022, directed by Henry Selick and written by Jordan Peele, Keegan-Michael Key, and Clay Chapman. James Hong was a U.S. Army soldier during the Korean War, when he further developed his performance abilities. After his engineering studies at USC and working in the Public Engineering Department of Los Angeles County, he studied with a renowned acting teacher and actor, Jeff Corey. Hong then gained a wide range of experience in lead and supporting roles on television during the 1950s and 1960s. From The New Adventures of Charlie Chan, 1957 to 1958, to The Outer Limits, 1963. He founded East West Players in 1965, the most important Asian-American theater company in America, with the actor Mako, with whom he joined the cast of Robert Wise's The Sand Pebbles, 1966. Other major films in which Hong made an indelible presence are Chinatown, 1975, and its sequel, The Two Jakes, 1990, as Chu in Ridley Scott's Blade Runner, 1982, and Sorcerer Lo Pan in John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China, 1986. Hong is one of the only actors to have performed in TV series across 7 decades, or nearly the entire span of the medium's history of narrative entertainment, ranging in recent decades across such disparate landmark series as The X-Files and Seinfeld. For many American moviegoers and TV viewers in decades stretching from the 1950s to the 2000s, Hong was literally the face of Asian characters. So meager were the roles and opportunities for Asian American actors, and so reliable and prolific was Hong. In recent years, James Hong has performed as a voice actor in dozens of animated features for film and TV, including Disney's Mulan, 1998, and Kung Fu Panda, 2008. Grady Wilson played by Whitman Mayo when he was 43 years old. Sadly, Mayo died of a heart attack on May 22, 2001, at Atlanta's Grady Memorial Hospital. He was 70 years old. Number 6, Victor Sen Yung as Tomo. Victor Sen Yung was an Asian American actor at a time when Asian actors were, more often than not, relegated to playing cooks, servants, peasants, or sadistic villains with inscrutable plans for worldwide domination. For many minority actors who wished to move beyond the stereotypes, maintaining employment in Hollywood came with making difficult choices, since those types of roles were sometimes the only thing available. Sen Yung is probably best known for his role as the Cartwright family's cook, Hop Sing, on the classic Western television program Bonanza. The role was that of a stereotypical Oriental, hair-triggered, and always ready to chase the character of hoss around with a cleaver whenever the big guy came near the soup. He is also well known, especially by crime buffs, for his role as Jimmy, the number 2 son in a series of Charlie Chan mysteries produced in the 1930s for 20th Century Fox, and later, after World War II, for the Poverty Row Studio Monogram. Sen Yung served proudly in the U.S. military during the war, but when it came to the movies, he played a U.S. traitor in the Humphrey Bogart war picture Across the Pacific. In 1972, the actor found himself embroiled in an airline hijacking and was shot, but survived, when FBI agents and hijackers opened fire. Tomo was played by Victor Sen Yung when he was 57 years old. Sadly, Victor Sen Yung died in his North Hollywood home in 1980, aged 65. The actor, who ran a small mail-order Chinese pottery business, was creating clayware and curing the items with an oven and died of natural gas poisoning from a gas leak. Number 7. Richard Liu as Master Sun. One of the most prolific character actors of the 20th century, Chinese-American Richard Liu had his most recognizable role as a Thai industrialist in the James Bond film The Man with the Golden Gun. Born in Hawaii to Chinese parents, Liu moved to California in his teens and became an actor after his career as a businessman was unsuccessful. In the 30s, he mostly had uncredited bit roles as Chinese men, but when World War II began, he would often be cast as a villainous Japanese soldier, as he was in the 1944 submarine drama The Purple Heart. Other war movie roles include supporting parts in the spy drama Tokyo Rose and Back to Baton, starring John Wayne. In one of his rare sympathetic roles, he played a Japanese-American soldier in Samuel Fuller's Korean War film The Steel Helmet in 1951. Although principally a character actor in small parts, he did occasionally have more substantial supporting roles. He played a general in the Clark Gable adventure Soldier of Fortune, appeared with William Holden in the romance Love is a Many-Splendored Thing, and was Major Chin in the Oscar-nominated period drama The Sand Pebbles in 1966. Aside from his role in The Man with the Golden Gun, he also made several appearances on the martial arts-themed TV show Kung Fu, where he played a Shaolin monk master. Master Sun played by Richard Liu when she was 69 years old. Sadly, he died of a cerebral hemorrhage on November 20th, 1983. He was 80. Number 8. Yuki Shimoda as Shun Lo. Though he played almost exclusively Asian, predominantly Japanese characters throughout more than 20 years in film and television acting, Yuki Shimoda was actually born in Sacramento. The first-generation American performed on Broadway over much of the 1950s, eventually taking his role in the hit comedy Auntie Mame to the big screen as his 1958 film debut. For the next 2 decades, Shimoda appeared primarily either in B-movies or in smaller roles in bigger-budget films. In the mid-70s, he took to figures of authority, including a role as an officer in the Charlton Heston and Henry Fonda starring World War II drama, Midway. Shimoda had an especially solid year in 1980 when he co-starred with fellow first-generation Japanese-American Pat Morita in the Japanese immigrant drama Hitohata Raise the Banner, followed by a key supporting role in the Disney family adventure The Last Flight of Noah's Ark, starring Elliot Gould and Rick Schroeder. On TV, Shimoda was more prone to stereotypical Asian parts, whether as an Oriental man on the sitcom Gomer Pyle, United States MC, in 1965, or as Cho Pak on 3 episodes of the military comedy Ma'aze. Arguably, his best role came as one of the stars of the 1976 TV movie Farewell to Manzanar, an Emmy-nominated drama about a Japanese-American internment camp during World War II. In 1981, his last year of life, Shimoda had a key supporting role in the Brian Brown starring Australian miniseries A Town Like Alice, another production set during World War II. Shun Lo played by Yuki Shimoda when he was 34 years old. Sadly, he died of cancer in Los Angeles in 1981. He was 59, number 9. Tim McIntyre as Daniel Kane. The son of actors. Tim McIntyre was himself an actor and composer whose brief career ran from the early 1960s to the early 80s. He followed his father, John McIntyre, to the office for one of his first television roles in 1963 as a guest on the Western Wagon Train, on which John was one of the leads. In 1965, the younger McIntyre landed a supporting part in the James Stewart starring Civil War-based Western Shenandoah, before joining Dad again later in the 60s on another TV Western, The Virginian. But McIntyre's more substantial work came in film, including everything from starring with Liza Minnelli in the Oscar-nominated comedy The Sterile Cuckoo, 1969, to a key part in the prison drama Brubaker, with Robert Redford in the title role. He composed the music for A Boy and His Dog, the 1975 sci-fi cult comedy which starred Don Johnson as a young man who communicates telepathically with his dog, Blood, voiced by McIntyre. His most resonant role, though, was as early rock and roll Cleveland DJ Alan Freed in the 1978 music drama American Hot Wax, which co-starred then-unknowns Fran Drescher and Jay Leno. Like Freed, McIntyre also died young, in his early 40s, from heart failure related to alcohol and drug problems. Daniel Kane played by Tim McIntyre when he was 29 years old. Sadly, McIntyre died at the age of 41 on April 15, 1986, from congestive heart failure in Los Angeles. He is buried at Tobacco Valley Cemetery in Eureka, Montana. Number 10. Clyde Kusatsu as Han-Soo Lok Diminutive, balding Asian-American character actor who, despite making his TV debut on the aggressively mystical Kung Fu series, has beautifully managed to avoid or transcend that quality of inscrutability stereotypically associated with so many Far Eastern acting roles. Born in Hawaii, Kusatsu began in Honolulu summer stock and, after studying theater at Northwestern, started to make his mark on the small screen in the mid-1970s. Usually mustachioed, with a dapper, professional air, he has most often played doctors, but his repertoire has included a generous sampling of teachers, usually college professors, businessmen, detectives, church ministers, and other intelligent middle-class types. With his quiet, wry line delivery, Kusatsu made a memorably clever and hilarious sparring partner for no less than Archie Bunker, Carol O'Connor, on several episodes of All in the Family, as the Reverend Chong, refusing to baptize Archie's grandson without the permission of the boy's parents. Han Sulok played by Clyde Kusatsu when he was 25 years old, and now he is 75 years old. Number 11. Leslie Nielsen as Vincent Corbino. Leslie Nielsen disproved the adage that American lives have no second acts. After decades as a leading man in genre motion pictures like Forbidden Planet and The Plainsman, Nielsen inserted his serious, authoritative persona into the parody-based comedies of the Zucker brothers and enjoyed a highly successful second career arc in films like Airplane, 1980, and especially the Naked Gun series, as well as Scary Movie 3, 2003, and Scary Movie 4, 2006. The key to the silver-haired leading man's timeless success was his deadpan delivery and seeming obliviousness to situations rife with sight gags and slapstick comedy. There was simply no one like him, and people of all ages responded for over 2 decades to his brilliantly empty-headed persona. Vincent Corbino was played by Leslie Nielsen when he was 25 years old. Sadly, on November 28th, Doug Nielsen, Nielsen's nephew, told the CJOB radio station that 84-year-old Nielsen had died in his sleep from pneumonia, surrounded by family and friends. Number 12. Ki Daeg as Warlord, Sing Lu Chan. Ki Daeg, born Kenneth Dickerson, was of Anglo-Egyptian Sudanese descent, but that didn't stop him from making a career out of playing Asian roles, almost always as a villain. He started his professional career in the 1950s, appearing in minor roles on programs like the anthology drama series Robert Montgomery Presents and the highly rated United States Steel Hour. In 1962, he appeared as the Chinese brainwasher Dr. Yen Lo in the political thriller The Manchurian Candidate, an indelible role that would clinch his career as a villain. In 1968, he appeared for the first time in the role for which he is best remembered, playing policeman Steve McGarrett's archenemy, Wo Fat, an elusive and violent Chinese spy, in the hit crime drama Hawaii Five-0. He would play Wo Fat, who remains one of the most remembered television villains of all time, off and on until 1980, when he was finally captured towards the end of the series. Other memorable roles included playing the title character in the 1975 detective series Khan, Attila the Hun in the 1977 biography series Meeting of Minds, and Four Finger Wu, head of a smuggling clan, in the 1988 TV miniseries adaptation of James Clavell's novel Noble House. Along with his acting career, Daeg was also a Taoist philosopher who penned several books on the subject and founded the Taoist Sanctuary in Los Angeles. Warlord Sing Lu Chan was played by Leslie Nielsen when he was 63 years old. Sadly, Daeg died on October 25, 1991, at Desert Samaritan Hospital of Mesa, Arizona, from kidney and heart failure. He was 81 years old. As we reflect on the incredible journey of the Kung Fu cast from 1972 to 1975, witnessing their growth and transformations, it's evident that the bond forged during those years has left an enduring legacy. From thrilling highway pursuits to heartwarming moments, these actors brought the California Highway Patrol to life. Their stories continue to resonate with fans around the world. As we explore their then and now, we celebrate the enduring impact of Kung Fu. Thank you for joining us on this nostalgic trip down the California highways with the remarkable Kung Fu of yesteryear.